Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition with Chaos Counseling. I'm still ill, so I didn't go to work today. So I figured since Abby had to go help her mom out, it's like, let's get some extra Dragon Age in. Since I've been actually very bad, because I've been saying I need to just kind of check on the war table in between streams just to make sure I get everything, and I have not done that once. Endangered's here. Glad you could make it. Oh wow, I didn't realize how far you were already. Yeah, I mean, sort of. I haven't really explored the mire at all. I kind of focused a bit on the damn war table. I did focus on advancing the story to this point, making sure I did everything before Haven became unavailable.
Let's see what we have.
Okay. Sorry, I just barely realized I haven't done a very good job of focusing on the sound on the game to make sure it was coming through okay. But yeah. I usually cheat it by turning off my Wi-Fi and manipulating the data. Nice. That's one way of doing it for sure. Alright, well but yeah, I'm still... Yeah, I got sent home from work early yesterday and didn't go to work today because I'm still feeling a little... Well, I don't... It's hard. It's one of those things that I feel really terrible when I'm up and about. As soon as I sit down, I'm like, I think I can go back to... Nope, never mind. It's frustrating because it means I'm not, making money. I'm not... I don't know. I feel like I'm letting my coworkers down by not being there for them, but at the same time, it's like I really do kind of need to... Oh, that's sort of sick. It's just the worst. I know, because I keep thinking, yep, let's just get up and take care of it, or let's get up and take care of some business, and then it's like, no, fuck thee. Sit down and be quiet. Sit down and suffer. So, given the fact that Abby and I were now streaming Persona 3 together, so that's probably going to either be in Saturday afternoons or Friday evenings. We only did it yesterday because we had something tonight, which I'm hoping that I'm at least up for going to that. Because I'm starting to think maybe what I had was food poisoning. Which does mean I'm not contagious, but we'll see. We couldn't do that tonight, but that means that going forward, Saturdays and Sundays, I'm free to just stream. Obviously I'll still stream whatever game I'm doing on Saturdays, but it's like, okay, does that just mean going forward I should just do double Dragon Age Inquisition streams? Because this game is long. So I could use the extra time to get through it in a timely manner. Or should I stream... Let's see. Oh, God. The ping noises make me peak up in a way that I didn't expect. Yeah. This was a feature I really missed from Veilguard. Oh, I can level up. Or should I stream something else on Sunday mornings? Just to... So I'm not... just beating things into the ground, with too much Dragon Age. Yeah, not sure. I'm not sure what I want to do in regards to this. Because it's like, okay, if I did this, because I'm thinking, maybe I should stream Pokemon Legends ZA, Mario Kart, World, Digimon Story Time Stranger, just something that's a bit more topical and relevant, if you know what I mean. Because on the one hand, if I stream the two story-based games, I know Time Stranger in particular is a long one, you know? But, in Mario Kart World would just be something, you know, light and simple, if you know what I mean. That I can, you know, start and stop whenever I want. It's also thinking like, oh, maybe I should go back and do a full stream of Princess Peach Showtime. And, you know, honestly, I kind of actually wish, I wasn't thinking about this, but I really wish I'd actually done a first impressions of Pokemon Legends EA. But I didn't, and like I said, I kind of wish that I did, because I have a lot to say about that game. Which is another reason I do kind of want to stream it sooner rather than later. Because, let's just say while I'm having fun, it certainly isn't living up to Arceus in terms of quality. Don't worry, troops. I'll save you, even though I fast-traveled away and potentially left you to die. Merely so I could go take care of some war table stuff. Trying to remember where you even are in the game right now. I'm at the Exalted Plains. If that's what you meant. It may, if you meant like in the story, I have literally not done anything story related since getting to Skyhold. So I've met, well, besides meeting with Hawk, I haven't gone to wherever Hawk tells us to go meet, what's his name? Stroud. I haven't gone to the... Yeah, this is... I gotta admit, one of the biggest criticisms I do have about this game, like, I know we joked about being in the hinterlands for so long, but it's because it is probably one of the better maps in the game. Because I have very mixed feelings about the different maps we explore in this game, you know? Again, I do think the Hissing Waste is my least favorite because, well, it's just that. It's a waste. It's big, and there's nothing really of value to gain there, you know? I'm also not the biggest fan of the place where you get the crystal. Let's see, it's also the most bloated of the maps. Hinterland is good and but bloated. I agree. I agree completely. Let's see, I'm not the biggest fan of the mire either, partially because you can't use your horse and partially because it's a glorified hallway. But then again, you could argue the Hissing Waste is too. I'm not the biggest fan of the place where you take the crystal shards to because I don't know. They try to get cute with the topography. So many people gave up on the game in the hinterlands. You know, oh, whoops. And, you know, I can't say I blame them. Because especially if you don't really know what you're doing, you can get, you can kind of, you know, lock yourselves in not knowing, oh, because like the despair demons, especially early on, those things will rip you to pieces if you don't know. It's like avoid these areas until you level up more. Maybe make sure your mages have the dispel spell to help deal with them. Yeah, like honestly, I love this game and I think it's great, but I can't defend it has some major problems that I often hear people list as a reason why they hate the game, and I cannot disagree with them on any of those fronts, because it's like absolutely everything you just said is a valid criticism. And yeah, this game isn't for everybody, because it's definitely, because it's kind of open world, at least at the time that this game was released, it was the most bloated of the Dragon Age games, and it's not the greatest when it comes to, like, because this game came out in the wake of Skyrim. Now, whether or not the developers were consciously trying to make a Skyrim-style game, I don't know. But this game doesn't have the moment-to-moment feedback that a game like Skyrim does to make just wandering aimlessly in a map as fun as it would have been. I would just really shotgun the whole thing in one go so I don't have to go back as much. Yeah, me too. That's kind of how I am. And I know, sadly, this gameplay style is one thing that people didn't like about Mass Effect Andromeda. And once again, that's fair. Because Mass Effect Andromeda definitely, I think, took notes from this game with the whole, oh, let's bring back multiple big maps you could explore. I don't know. I think maybe just because of the jump jet, combined with the fact that the Nomad could reach more areas than your mounts. I didn't mind Andromeda as much, but then again, as I've found more and more as time goes on, I do tend to... I am more of a Mass Effect stan than a Dragon Age. I mean, I'm a stan for both series, but I definitely preferred Mass Effect out of the two franchises. Definitely did open world better in Andromeda. Yeah, I agree. And I think that's just because... yeah, like, the one planet that's basically just a barren asteroid is kind of lame, but most of the worlds in Mass Effect Andromeda I found more memorable and had a lot more personality than some of the places here. Some of the places, not all. Like, I truly cannot stress that I'm not really trying to piss on this game, because I do actually thoroughly love it, but being aware of something's shortcomings is the best way to be able to enjoy it, because you can see those things, you can acknowledge them, and you can rise above them, if you know what I mean. It also helps that, you know, I feel Ryder, like both versions of Ryder, have more personality than the Inquisitor. Not that I don't like the Inquisitor, I do. Loving the game mechanics, acknowledging its flaws as much as you can, yeah. No, absolutely.
Who's there? Don't come any closer. We have swords.
Scared. Too many dead. Too many demons.
I'm with the Inquisition. I'm not here to hurt anyone.
The Inquisition? Here? Forgive me, I should have known.
Not really. We're not exactly wearing any uniforms, so you're justified. But yeah, I think definitely replaying this game again, combined with playing Dragon Age Veilguard earlier this year, it really does drive home how much Hawk was really meant to be the main character of the franchise, starting with the second game onward, and how just kind of tagged on both the Inquisitor and Rook feel.
Pull back, they said. So we did. Then the undead appeared. We couldn't hold them back. I told my men to activate the fort's defenses. A foolish move, born of desperation. There was so much about the old elven magic we never knew. We couldn't control it. We retreated, but not everyone made it through the gates. I couldn't. I couldn't save them. We've been trapped for weeks. Supplies were incoming, but who knows what happened to them.
Yeah.
I must take my leave.
Good day, Inquisition.
Oh, supply caches. Okay. Because, yeah, I enjoy Rook, but I weirdly can't think of Veilguard as a proper Dragon Age game, not that it's a bad... See, here is my thing with Dragon Age Veilguard. It is not the absolutely abysmal game that a lot of people liked making it out to be, you know? But it was not a game that was worth waiting 10 years for. Plus, its mechanics were just so... Because, like, this game introduced a ton of new mechanics that were very different from the other two Dragon Age games, but it still felt like Dragon Age. There was still lots of things like... Wait, are we not... Can we not... Oh, wait, no, I go over there. But it still very much felt like a Dragon Age game. Just, you now used a different button to attack. You could jump, you know, stuff like that.
Sorry your friend died.
Veilguard,
Thank you, Cole.
not so much.
There were spirits of
Because now instead of a party of 4, it's a party of 3. Not everyone in... Like, so in every Dragon Age game, all of your companions fit neatly into one of the 3 classes you can be.
The gentlest spirit.
But in Dragon Age Veilguard, everyone is... You can make an argument that Davrin and Tosh are arguably fighters, sure.
Do that.
Harding is a rogue, but what about everyone else? And then Emmerich, Nev, and Balara are obviously mages, but then Harding, even though she's technically a rogue, can use magic. So, I would argue that, what's his name? The Spite Demon guy. I can't think of his name right now. While he's arguably a rogue, he has plenty of fighter traits about him. Plus, since the fact that he's possessed by a demon, you know, he's not your atypical rogue, you know? It just, in a lot of ways, Veilguard feels like, maybe abandon is the wrong word, but it doesn't stick to a core part of what made Dragon Age up to that point in history. Again, plus, it wasn't worth the 10-year wait. The game was not so overwhelmingly mind-blown that it was worth the wait, you know? Did I like the game? Absolutely. Lucanus, thank you, or something. I don't remember how to spell it. And God, Harding's magic bothers me. That the reveal was shoehorned. It was a shoehorned callback. It's like, you know, I like the explanation as to why dwarfs could not use magic before both this game's DLC and then Harding. But, sure, I don't know. It's just... How do I put this? So in like the last stream or the stream before, I bitched and screamed about how much I hate Vivian and how much I don't like Sarah, and about how I think Vivian is arguably the worst companion in any Dragon Age game, and I absolutely stand by that. But I do feel this game as a whole has better companions than Dragon Age Veilguard, simply due to the fact that, well, there are characters I vehemently despise in this game, Sarah and Vivian. Okay, actually, I can put up with Sarah now, but she's not my favorite. I still can't stand Vivian. I at least remember the companions way more vividly here, whereas unfortunately, besides Harding, and that's just because Harding's a returning character, most of the companions in Veilguard... Uh-oh. Okay. Hey, Endangered, did the stream freeze for you? Vivian is meant to be a bit of a bitch, being honest. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. She is written well and written consistent. I just fucking hate her. So, I can't... It's like, she's hateable because she's supposed to be. It's not that she's a bad character. Let's, as Endangered said, she's meant to be a bitch. So let's not get too carried away. Okay, the stream didn't freeze. Okay, good. So yeah, let's not get kerfuddled with me saying I hate her with saying that she's a badly written character, because she's not. She's a very well-written character. It's just she's written to be very unlikable. But by the same token, she is written to be so unlikable, I don't want to have anything to do with her. Anyway, but almost every single one of the Veilguard characters, again, besides Harding, leave very little impression on me. Oh, and I guess Nev left an impression on me. I commented them for writing I commend them for writing a bitch that clearly does care about the Inquisition in her own way. No, I agree. Let me think. So I like, because in my personal playthrough, I did romance Harding, and I liked it. When I get to it again, I'm debating between romancing Nev, Davrin, or maybe Balara. You know, and my problem with Balara specifically is, it's not that I have a problem with Balara. Tosh left an impression on me personally as a fun sort of character in the journey. Yeah, you know, I do like Tosh, but how do I put this? My problem with Tosh is how much... actually, no. I like Tosh. What I don't like is how everyone acts about Tosh. Because everyone's like, oh, she's too woke. I'm like, not really. I personally feel that Tosh was actually written pretty good. I mean, again, I'm not a gender fluid, non-binary, whatever, so I don't know how well she represents it. But she's not shoving trans ideology down anyone's throat. I actually found her journey about coming to terms with herself was very good. Yeah, I guess the reason why I didn't mention Tosh is that in my attempt to just kind of ignore, you know, the assholes complaining about them, I think I was saying she with Tosh. I apologize. Them. I kind of just, for an egg-cracking character storyline, it's pretty well written. Exactly. Again, I think people are just looking for reasons to bitch and moan. And especially with all the bullshit happening in America right now, complaining about the trans community is just an easy topic to get people riled up. Because as we've seen with just a lot of right-wing dickweeds, all they have going for them is that, like, well, if I can get, you know, people who actually have good points all riled up so they can't think straight, I can then prove that they're the ones who are being unreasonable or some bullshit like that.
We should look around.
Thank you, Cole. Let's see, Balara, I think she feels like a rehash of another Elven Mage. No, I agree. I mean, yes, Meryl didn't have a brother, so obviously that storyline was definitely written with a new character in mind. Yeah, but just with her knowledge of the Fade and knowledge of the Alluvian, I really feel at some point in development, the developers are like, hey, what if we brought Meryl back? But because it's also like, okay, but Meryl can potentially die, we don't want to undermine the player's choices, so we can't bring her back. And again, especially given, like, I know this scene was more about and being a weird elf, just like Meryl. Agreed. Like the scene that everyone throws a temper tantrum about, like the scene with the push-ups, like when Isabella misgenders Tosh, which that scene is fine. Get up, just take your tampons out of your assholes. That's not where they go. Anyway, just kind of that, I feel like Isabella is being like a older sibling to Balara, which was absolutely Meryl and Isabella's relationship in the second game. So, do I like Balara? Yeah. But I just keep, every time I see her, I just keep wondering how fun would it be if it was an old companion, aka Meryl, coming back, you know? Heck, it's actually a pretty good characterization of Isabella, the push-ups thing. I agree. I don't get why everyone is like, oh, can you believe this scene? I'm like, it's very in character for Isabella. Did we play the same games? Since she's one of the few characters who've appeared in multiple Dragon Age games, but yeah. That felt like something she would do, especially since Isabella, you know, has often been like, hey, as a woman who's also a captain, she needs to push back against you know, stereotypes and the patriarchy, you know. That is absolutely something that she brought up in Dragon Age 2. So people complain about the game as woke. Clearly has never actually played Dragon Age. The only issue with the bringing Meryl back would be they'd have to bring Hawk back because Meryl is the king. I didn't actually know that. But at the same time, since in the developer's canon, Hawk dies. Spoilers, Hawk can die in this game. But since the canon romance for the developers was Hawk died, that would be kind of interesting. Kind of in the same way of the way they brought Liliana back for this game. And I don't remember if the canon option is that Liliana romanced the Inquisitor. Or not the Inquisitor, the Warden, but not canon, but my head canon, huh? Oh, okay, I gotcha. I mean, because it's important to bear in mind, sorry, when you said that, I assumed that was like developer canon, because I know developer canon is that Hawk is a male mage. I mean, every character except Sebastian's bisexual, so Meryl could romance whoever. Like, that's not the issue, but yeah. Because, like, it is important to remember that when it comes to Mass Effect and Dragon Age, every new game is developed with the developer canon in mind to some extent. Because, like, the developer's canon is that the Warden was a female Dalish elf who died. So a lot of what they wrote around with, like, character development reflected that. Nah, it's just my go-to. I miss the friend/rival romances. Yeah. Again, I really feel Dragon Age 2 had the best mechanics. Like, I can agree. So what's kind of interesting, especially now that I've been playing Pokemon Legends ZA, because again, for those who don't know, I played Dragon Age 2 first. I didn't play Dragon Age Origins until after I had done a complete playthrough of 2. So I am very skewed in favor of 2. So one of my go-to defenses for 2 is that it's a smaller story with a more personal vibe. Well, what's kind of interesting is that now that I've been playing Pokemon Legends ZA, well, the first Pokemon Legends of Arceus, it was you got to explore the entire Sinnoh region in the past as the Hisui region. That was really cool. I played in order, but absolutely adore 2. Testify, brother. Testify. But one of my biggest complaints initially was, oh, I got to explore the whole Hisui region in the past? That's really cool. Oh, wait, Legends ZA, you only get to explore a single city? That's kind of lame. And then I kind of thought, I'm like, oh, this might be how people felt about Dragon Age, going from Dragon Age Origins to Dragon Age 2. So I kind of was thinking, like, am I being hypocritical with this criticism? And yes, I do think I am being hypocritical. I think the difference here is that Pokemon has never really been about the story or the characters. I mean, don't get me wrong, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet had great story and characters, and even I'd say Legends had a pretty compelling story, or the Legends Arceus had an interesting story. But once again, the story is not usually what is going to be the focus of a Pokemon game. So, yeah, I haven't gotten very far because I'm still playing Digimon Time Stranger, and I'm enjoying that game way more. So I haven't put a ton of time into ZA. So I will reserve judgment until I'm done with the game. But yeah, I can say that in a Pokemon game, it is a little disappointing to, like, it feels like, you know, Legends is a brand new series and they're already making changes and taking stuff away from it before it truly finds its identity, if you know what I mean. Like, I think another... I don't know. I want to be clear. I'm actually enjoying ZA, all things considered, but I'm not going to pretend like I actually think so far I'm like, no, I think the first one is much, much better. Also, because to be honest, I also don't know if a lot of the hate that ZA is getting online has more to do with just people being pissed off with Nintendo, if you know what I mean. Because don't get me wrong, there's plenty of reasons to be pissed off at Nintendo right now. But one thing I do also am a little curious about, and I finally ordered... I just ordered a copy for myself, so I will be able to actually weigh in on this, is... So, when I bought a Switch 2, and it came with Mario Kart World. Let's see, plenty of reasons to be pissed off at the gaming industry as a whole lately. Yeah, for real, endangered, for real.
Fade were just another wooded path to walk without a care in search of wisdom. We share the ancient mysteries, the feelings lost, forgotten dreams, unseen for ages. Now beheld in wonder, in his own way, he knew.
Sorry, I'm letting Cole finish, and then I'll keep going. But, so, I played Mario Kart World for a bit. It was fun, and then I kind of stopped. I haven't unlocked all the costumes, but I did beat most of the Grand Prix. I'm an Xbox fan, and boy, is that being tougher and tougher to say without a long conversation. Yeah, I'm with you. I have too much nostalgia, because I was a Nintendo kid growing up. So I'm too invested in series like Zelda, in Pokemon, in Fire Emblem, so on and so forth, for me to truly abandon them, unless they did something like Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, just using that as an example of deliberately insulting the fans of the games. But it's hard. That's the honest truth. But yeah, so I was a Nintendo fan growing up. My first non-Nintendo console that I bought was an Xbox 360, because that's what all my friends had, and plus I really wanted to play the Halo games and Left 4 Dead games at the time. Well, lost interest in Halo after Halo 4, and there has not been a new Left 4 Dead game since 2, which fucking sucks. So, partially because at the time, all the Tales games were being released for the PlayStation and not the Xbox, me and Abby, we switched to PlayStation as our backup. Like, our whole thing is that we will always have a Nintendo console in our home, because again, we're so nostalgic for them and their series, but we will then always have one console that's like the current whatever, like as you know, as of right now it's Xbox or PlayStation, but that could change. Okay, I can say for certain the finding the soldiers' letters is my absolute least favorite quest in this whole goddamn map, because it's too big, it's too broad, and you don't even get the radar as you get closer to them. So I'm gonna potentially ignore those beyond if I just happen upon them, you know. Next generation, I might have no choice but switch to PlayStation 6. The next gen Xbox is being marketed the worst way possible. Yeah, that kind of stinks. You know, that's kind of the thing for me, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Xbox has been very bad about marketing a lot of their modern consoles. I mean, I think that they marketed whatever the current Xbox console is better than Sony marketed the 5. But I remember, like, the memes back in the day when the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 were coming out, and PlayStation was doing full-on marketing campaigns. Like, here is how you trade games. You know, you loan out games on the PlayStation 4. Here you go, buddy. That is all. Or, hey, the PlayStation 4 is a racer shape, so you can forget about the Xbox One. Now, I have since heard that, you know, they got their act together, and the Xbox One is actually pretty good. But yeah, they did a really bad job marketing it, from what I remember. I mean, honestly, the only reason I actually me and Abby considered getting an Xbox One, and I hate PlayStation because of their controls, but yeah, Microsoft sucks with marketing and their price gouging of Xbox shit. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, when it comes to the PlayStation controller, I actually do have to agree with you to an extent. I mean, I've been playing PlayStation predominantly for over a decade at this point, so I don't dislike them anymore, but I do 100% understand where you're coming from. Because, yeah, growing up, I never liked the PlayStation controllers. Because I prefer the way, like, the GameCube and the Xbox, how it's like the one stick is higher up on... The left stick is higher up, and the right stick is lower down, where, you know, the PlayStation, the dual sticks... are right next to each other, and I don't like just how that positions my fingers as a whole. But like I said, I've gotten used to it. PlayStation controller feels like children's toy. I don't know if I fully agree with that. I mean, especially not the PlayStation 5 controllers. Those things are chonky. You know, also, one thing that I do think is kind of odd, at least for me, is that I like some weight to my controls. That's fair. Because, like, I've been playing... so Abby and we've been playing games that we're both kind of interested in, but we just don't really like the gameplay. Like, so Abby's been playing some, you know, some puzzle games and whatnot that I'm like, I'm interested, I just don't want to play them because I don't really like them. And then I've been playing like some action games and whatnot that she's been interested in. So specifically, we've been playing through Castlevania. And I was playing through the game we just beat today was Castlevania Lament of Innocence, which I had on our PlayStation 3 Virtual Console. So for the first time in literally years, I switched on my PlayStation 3. And it's like, holy shit, these controllers are weird. Like, again, it's like, they're so tiny and, like, it seems like every single PlayStation controller generation, their controllers get bigger and nicer, you know? But yeah, it was so strange going back to the PlayStation 3. And how, just this morning, I went up and, because the next well, not the next Castlevania game, but... Because, like, we're going through Castlevania in chronological order, and then we're going to ignore most of the Castlevania games that aren't canonical to the main storyline, with the exception of the Lords of Shadow game. Mostly because I don't own most of the Castlevania games that aren't canonical. Like, the not Circle of the Moon, like Castlevania 64, or the Castlevania game where you play as a werewolf. I don't own those, and they have never been digitally re-released because, to my understanding, they're bad. So we're going to ignore those. But yeah, just finished Lament of Innocence, and, you know, I want to like that one, but it's kind of a pain in the ass. Then again, for me, just because I'm not that into the difficulty of Castlevania, any Castlevania games that don't let me just knock back, you know, have like a million healing potions on me that I can knock back in the middle of any boss fight, I'm not going to enjoy them as much. And that was the problem I had with... I mean, Lament of Innocence, yeah, there's shops you can buy potions, but you're limited to how many potions you can carry. Plus, jeez, that final boss fight against Death is brutal. Because, yeah, and I've also been considering about possibly streaming Castlevania games for the channel, but that's also difficult because besides Dawn of Sorrow, I don't actually like that many Castlevania games because they're just so difficult. I just don't get a ton of enjoyment out of them. And even then, Dawn of Sorrow, it's like, I have to grind the hell out of souls to really say I like to, you know, get the weapons I need to beat the game comfortably. Because, yeah, for those who are not familiar with Castlevania, Dawn of Sorrows, you play as the character Soma, who has the unique ability to absorb the souls of monsters he's slain. You know, the more powerful the monster, the less likely you are to get a soul or whatever. But to get, like, the best sword in the game, you have to grind what's called a Final Guard. They're just, like, giant suits of armor with, like, 1,000,000 HP. That there's like a 1% chance of claiming their soul upon defeat. Which means you already have to spend for freaking ever just to kill one of them, but only to have a 1% chance of actually getting the soul you need to get the best sword in the game. That's already a little... that adds extra frustration to things. I don't know. It was the first Castlevania game I ever owned and ever played, so... I have a soft spot for it for that reason. Plus, I played it at a young enough age. Whew, excuse me. That, so like, I was never really able to get a job until I was much older. Like, I was never able to get a high school job or whatnot as many times as I applied because the job market has always been terrible around here. So I never really had that much disposable money to buy video games. So a lot of times I'd only ever get video games at birthdays, Christmas, or whenever my family would plan like a big trip where we'd have to have like a big long road trip. My mom usually would make me and Sunshine, because Seth, my older brother, he stopped buying handheld consoles after the Game Boy Color. Like, he never had a Game Boy Advance, but he did buy the GameCube, the Game Boy Advance game player for the GameCube, so he did still buy some GameCube games. But my older brother, he never bought any DS games or anything like that. I know he did eventually get a 3DS because my mom, I don't remember why she bought like a 3DS that was supposed to be like a communal 3DS for us, but then I went out and bought my own, and then Sunshine did the same thing. So it just kind of became my older brother's by default, but... Go away. I forget where I was going with this. Handhelds. Oh yeah, so my mom would often make me and Sunshine a deal that if we did X, Y, and Z or got good grades on our report card or whatever, my mom would then buy us another game for our upcoming long road trip that we could play on the trip. That's how I got Castlevania, Dawn of Sorrow. That's how... well, now Sunshine got Super Princess Peach for a different reason, but I digress. That's how I got Lego Star Wars on the Game Boy Advance. That's how I got Fire Emblem Sacred Stones. Sunshine got Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. That way, I don't remember what other games Sunshine got for that. Because, yeah, we got... So, when my father was deployed to Afghanistan, when I was in high school, his siblings all chipped in to get... me and my siblings all like gifts in order to lessen the blow, I guess. I don't really remember why they did this for us. My older brother got an old iPod video back when those were like cutting edge tech, and me and Sunshine got original DS's. Sunshine got the classic platinum one. That so how do I put this? We were both kind of given a choice. There was the classic platinum one that Sunshine got, and with it, we got a $40 gift card, which was, you know, the price point for the new DS games at the time. Maybe it was $30, I don't remember. The point is, it was a gift card that would basically get us any DS game that we wanted. Or we could take the blue one that came with a copy. Like, it wasn't, like, pre-downloaded, because that was not really a thing the DS did. That was more 3DS era, with Animal Crossing Wide World. Well, I was always the one who was into Animal Crossing a little more. Well, no, me and Sunshine equally were. But I think it's just because I wanted the blue DS. I took Wide World, and Sunshine got the the platinum one with the gift card. Sorry about the disappearance, family emergency. No. Family emergencies are more important. So Sunshine took the gift card and got themselves Super Princess Peach. That's how we got that game, not the aforementioned thing. Whatever. What's that exclamation mark? I don't know. Alright, let's go blow. Let's go blow something. Because I remember, like, so, and again, I'm really happy I did this, but when I was a kid, I don't remember which birthday it was, but it would have been, let's see, 20 years ago. It probably would have been my 14th or 15th birthday. I was really trying to decide what I wanted for my birthday, and I was torn between getting Custom Robo or one of the Mega Man Battle Network games. I don't remember which one, because I ended up never getting any of the Mega Man Battle Network games as a kid. And I remember my siblings were so relieved when I chose to get Custom Robo, because that's, you know, that's a game we could all play, and that's a game we all wanted. So I remember my older brother was disappointed when, because I initially was like, oh, Soul Calibur 2 for the GameCube was going to come out a couple days after my birthday. And I initially told my parents that's what I wanted to get. But shortly before my birthday, I discovered Mega Man Network Transmission, which was the only Mega Man game in the Battle Network universe that was a platformer instead of a action RP. I don't know what would you. I don't know what you describe the Battle Network games as. So, because again, I was a big Mega Man fan as a kid, even though I played very little of them, I chose to get that for my birthday instead, which my older brother was not happy about. So he had to dip into his savings because he worked at a swimming pool for a number of summers, so he could buy Soul Calibur 2. That's also where we got, although my brother working at a swimming pool is also when we got our hands on Lost Kingdom 1 and 2. Heck, I remember being kind of just stunned because I came home from, I don't remember if I was at a friend's house or if I was at one of my drama play practices or whatever, came home, went to the gaming room and saw that Seth had a brand new game open on the couch. I'm like, what the? But it's not your birthday. How did you get a new video game? Oh, totally. I mean, it's why, I mean, hell. Like, I still probably to this day still remember this was the first video game I technically bought with my own money. Emphasis on technically. This was the first game that I bought. This is the first toy that I bought with my own money. I mean, yeah, it was birthday money, but you know what I mean. So it doesn't technically count, but little kid me like, I bought my own game. Hooray! Heck, I even remember when I was in high school, I bought Star Fox Adventure as a joint gift to both of my siblings. And I think I was able to get it used for like 15 bucks. And that was a big deal for me because even then, like I said, I wasn't able to actually get a job until I was in college. So that was a ton of money for me at the time. And sadly, I do feel bad about this. I ended up playing Star Fox Adventure more than either of my siblings. Because I got it because for those who don't know, Star Fox Adventure is the Star Fox game that plays more akin to a Zelda game. And that's because it was never meant to be a Star Fox game. Long story, Nitro Rad does a better... let's see. The first game I bought myself, I think it was actually Dragon Age Inquisition at Pawn Shop for like $10. Nice. But yeah, if you guys want to know the story behind Star Fox Adventure, I'd recommend checking out Nitro Rad's video on it, because he kind of talks about what it was and what it was supposed to be and why. Yeah, it's an interesting. Then again, Nitro Rad just makes good videos in general, so I recommend checking him out if you want game reviews. Anyway, but I got it for them because it's a Star Fox game that plays kind of like a Zelda game. And since Sunshine and Seth, my older brother, my older brother is still, I think Zelda is easily still his favorite video game franchise of all time. And my younger brother, Sunshine, my younger sibling, I don't really know how they feel about Zelda anymore. I don't think it is, but they were way more into Zelda than I was, to say the very least. So I got it for them. It's like, oh, it's the type of game they like, but they just didn't really care about the Star Fox characters very much. And let's be real, Star Fox Adventure is like a Zelda game light. And it doesn't control it as well as the best Zelda games. Because, like, the aiming, the fire, like, the puzzles where you had to shoot fire from Fox's staff were the worst. Like, they suck. They are probably some of the worst parts of the game. But yeah, the first game I bought for myself was Pokemon Silver. I think the first toy I ever bought for myself was a Ninja Turtles toy called a Dino Turtle. Because the Ninja Turtles had toys of literally everything. But I had a friend who got a Dino Turtle toy, so when I saw one at like a discount retailer, I'm like, I had to have one because my friend had one. So again, I had to get it so that my friend and I could play with our toys together, you know? I'm sure you know how little kid brains work when it comes to that sort of thing. I remember the first movie I ever bought for myself was the first Bionicle movie, because I was obsessed with Legos and Bionicles. See, better than the first toy I bought. It was just a Joy Buzzer from Toys R Us, and it broke so fast. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. It was the first toy I bought that I didn't get out of a 25-cent vending machine, because if I counted those, it'd probably be like the ninjas that came packaged with parachutes or whatever. Yeah, I don't feel like bothering with the soldiers' letters. They're annoying.
Demons are coming closer.
Hello, dear. Out of my way.
They're gone from our
The mounts in this can be so interesting. I love the giant nug you can ride. I know, just every time I see that nug, I just keep thinking like, oh wow, your poor legs. It's like the Inquisitor's gonna be bow-legged by the time they get done riding that like 5 feet. Look, guys, I'm not looking to pick a fight. I'm just trying to get up here, okay? And look at the Inquisition's writing of posture in general. Doesn't look comfortable, especially as a Kunari. You're not wrong. I remember, so in my very first playthrough of this game, I played as a male Kunari. And since this was when the game first came out, and it was the standard edition, no special edition, no DLC, I basically had nothing to ride except for like the standard horse. And, well, I mentioned in a previous stream, this red Hala was a pre-order bonus from GameStop, along with, I think, the Bog Unicorn. Could be wrong about that one. So it didn't matter which mount I picked, it always looked like I was going, like, the mount was going to break in half just from my Kunari's weight, you know? Then again, I romanced Josephine in that first playthrough, and it's like, okay, if my mount, it's like, she also looked like she was going to break whenever she was with that character. Oh, I guess we can help that guy then. Love the fact that you can ask about the horse's health from a Kunari riding it to the horse's master. He legitimately doesn't have a great response every time. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Yeah, can't say that I'm that surprised that that's the guy's response to that. Yeah, I am kind of sad, though, that as much as I like Kunari and I want to play the Kunari, the games, this game and, like, you know, this game and Veilguard, you know, the games where you actually can be a Kunari, favors being an elf so much that it's like, I feel like I'm missing out if I play a Kunari, you know? Which really is a damn shame. Because, like, when we get to playing Veilguard, my plan is to play as a dwarf. Because I've already played through the game once as an elf, and you get so many cool dialogue choices as an elf. And I'm hoping that if you play as a dwarf, you can get some comparatively cool dialogue bits, you know? But I do kind of hope that I don't screw us over by... Because, like, and then Abby played as a Kunari. And... she liked it, but it definitely wasn't as cool as what I got being an elf. If I'm being an elf, most fantasy games would be so boring. I almost never do. Dwarves and Kunari are where it's at. I agree. That's why when I play the first Dragon Age game, I almost always play a dwarf. I didn't this last time because, you know, I was doing edgelord. I let everyone vote on what they wanted edgelord to be. So, but I usually go dwarf in the first game. Obviously, you've got to be a human in the second game, but I usually go mage in the second game. This one, I usually do play as an elf. Just because, again, the extra elven dialogue you get in this game, combined with the fact that, hell yeah, dwarf brother, combined with the fact that I usually like playing a mage the most in this game. So that kind of rules dwarf out for me. Or not from, that just, it rules dwarf out as a playable option. Plus, if you want to romance Cullen in this game, you gotta be an elf. And since Cullen's the only, or not Cullen, well, yes, you have to romance Cullen, and you have to be a human or an elf, my bad. To romance Solus, I meant to say Solus. Kunari in Inquisition has some fun talks with Iron Bull. That I do agree with. Yeah, I've been a Kunari a few times. Like, if I'm not specifically going for romancing Solus or Cullen, I do try to play a Kunari or a dwarf. Yeah. But yeah, again, the reason I specifically wanted to romance Solus in this playthrough, because, well, he's the most plot-relevant character in the game, and Sarah, she loves the Kunari. Yes, she does. Obsessively so.
I made him.
But, like, the reason... But, yeah, since you get extra scenes in the fourth game if you've romanced Solus, so that's kind of what I wanted to showcase. That way, so you guys can all see it, so you don't have to... Because I know that I'm in the minority when I say that I do like Solus as a character. Because I just find Solus to be a fascinating character. I don't think he's someone I'd like to spend time with. Just can't do that storyline. I hate it. To each their own. I love Solus. I think he's the most interesting character, but he is a bastard, and I acknowledge that. I don't know. I think, in a weird way, he's Vivian done right. He's a character you're supposed to dislike, but unlike Vivian, he has a streak of humanity to him that is just interesting to see. So he's well written. He's an ass. And a racist one at that. Yeah, I mean, most everyone in this game, in this world, is racist in their own way. I'd argue probably Varric and whatever the protagonist is are the only truly 100% not racist characters. And Cole, well, Cole isn't either, but Cole's a unique individual. Okay, I don't feel like I don't really want to keep looking for these glyphs. But yeah. Because I definitely think... I mean, I do feel that a lot of this game and the next game is building up and paying off Solus's story. And the different outcomes you can get with Solus. Yeah, I just think he's the best written character in Dragon Age. And it's just so interesting to see where he goes as a character. That's why, even though I do hope we can maybe get another Dragon Age game in the future, which I don't think we will, given that EA's selling off BioWare, plus they fired all of the original writers, but if we never get a Dragon Age 5, I do think that the way that Veilguard ends the story is satisfying enough. You know, and honestly, I love the ending I got in Veilguard first time. Yeah. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Thank you. Yeah. Honestly, I gotta be perfectly frank. If Mass Effect 5 gets canceled, I can live with that. Simply because, based on the spoil... Again, it's already confirmed it's going to take place in the Milky Way galaxy again, because we've already seen Liara. Oh, damn, my internet is dying again. I am so sorry, Endangered. If you've got a dip, it was nice having you. If you can stick around, huzzah. But it's very clear based on... Well, not very clear, but it seems clear that based on the snippets we've seen of Mass Effect 5, they're canonizing the Destroy ending. Which fucking sucks, because regardless of how you feel about Andromeda, it was a good idea to set it in, like, a different galaxy, so you could still have whatever ending you wanted be your headcanon for Ryder's story, and not invalidate your player's choices, you know? But because they're now picking one ending, it's like, nope. This is how it has to be. This is Mass Effect's canon. And I'm like, I hate that. Like, I absolutely hate that, because Mass Effect, regardless of whether or not it succeeded, was about the player's choices. The synthesis ending was my favorite, damn. No, and in my opinion, the synthesis ending is the only good ending. And it's the only ending that makes sense for what the story... I mean, look at Mass Effect Andromeda, specifically. It's a game that's meant to be separate from the original trilogy while still being in the same universe. The whole thing with Sam, you know, learning emotions from you and enhancing you as an individual... It's very clear that the writers, the entire point and purpose of Mass Effect was finding a way to bring AI and humanity closer together, to blur the lines between them, to hopefully eventually have them come together to create, you know, a better, you know, existence. I mean, hell, like, even in the Quarians ending of the Geth were helping them rebuild their immune system by plugging into their suits or whatever. It's very clear that the point of Mass Effect was finding that harmony between synthetics and organics. So the fact they're like, nah, we're gonna make the destruction ending canon because that's what bitchy, whiny douchebags who didn't like that, who wanted their Shepard to live, it's like, that's what we're gonna go with. Because that's what everyone picked, because it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter that you're, you know, literally exterminating an entire species, the Geth. It doesn't matter that Edie is dying. It doesn't matter that you're fucking over the entire galaxy by losing the mass relays. No. What matters is that your OC got to survive. It's like, it's very clear they never learned the concept of, you know, self-sacrifice or putting others before themselves. It's like, I fucking hate, like, I don't like the control, because, like, I hate the control ending too, because it's very clear that AI Shepard, or whatever you want to view them as, is eventually going to snap and probably end up wiping out everyone anyway. So it's like, I truly believe the only real happy ending for Mass Effect and its characters is the synthesis ending. But get fucked. Yeah. Okay, I got some good weapons. Okay, alright. With the quest left are glyphs, which I don't really want to worry about. Letters, which I don't really want to worry about. And, well, I guess I should deal with the Fade Rift, so I don't have to come back for that. Alright, let's do that. But then after that, we can probably be done with here. Okay. But yeah, like I was saying, I'd be, in a weird way, be okay if Mass Effect, as much as I love Mass Effect, I'd be okay if it got canceled. That way, I don't have to acknowledge, I don't have to be that guy that's that annoying fan who's like, oh, this part of the franchise doesn't count, so, or I don't consider it to be canon, you know? I don't want to be that fan, but I really stand by what I'm saying, that the direction the new developers, because it's still BioWare, but none of the original writing team is working on it. The direction they're taking the franchise completely misses the point, in my opinion. Because, yeah, I've done the other endings once, but I will always, anytime I replay it, it's synthesis and only synthesis. Because in my humble opinion, that is the only ending that makes sense for the story that Mass Effect was telling. Again, to quote Mr. Spock from Star Trek, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. So just the mere idea that it's like the reason why so many people chose the destruction ending was merely because that's the only ending their Shepard could live. I'm like, that's kind of fucked, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, speaking of hot takes and good endings or bad endings or whatnot, in Fire Emblem Three Houses, I actually think the Blue Lion ending, even though it's the ending where the most amount of named characters live, I actually think that ending is the bad ending. And a lot of people wouldn't the Black Ravens be more of a bad ending? I'm like, yes, in some regards, I do agree. But hey, it's the only ending that the church is torn down, and that church is pretty fucking corrupt, as you've seen in other routes. And B, it's the only ending where the main villains of the actual world are not defeated. So it's like, yeah, more characters live in that ending, but more characters are going to die in the long run because you don't actually destroy those who slither in the dark. Honestly, I think Three Houses in general was a game that had boundless potential and just really made a lot of severe mistakes in how it went about presenting them and telling them. Because the first problem I had, spoilers for a game that's quite a few years old at this point, the first problem I had with it is, quite frankly, Edelgard was irredeemable in too many of the endings. Like, in my opinion, it should have been split down the middle that... Because, just spoilers, there's different there's 4 different endings. There's 3 houses, but there's 4 routes you can take. One of them's a secret. They should have switched the final boss from the secret route to the Golden Deer's route. Because, yeah, the big problem I have with the secret route and the Golden Deer route is that, yeah, the final bosses thematically fit if you swap them. Because Rhea is the final boss in the Black Eagle route and the secret route, but it doesn't make sense that she is the final boss in the secret route. Whereas it would have been better if she was the final boss in Claude's route, because even Claude has issues with Rhea. But the problem is that in too many of the endings, Rhea is the good guy and Edelgard is just evil. That's actually one thing I find interesting about Fire Emblem Three Hopes, which is the Warriors spin-off of Three Houses, which is kind of like the story of Three Houses just set in an alternate reality. I don't think it's that. It has actually some major problems I don't like in it, but I digress. But they actually go out of their way to make Rhea more bad consistently in that game, and make Edelgard way more sympathetic in the other room. Which I'm like, are the developers compensating for legit, like, justified backlash that they had with some of the storytelling choices made in Three Houses? Because if so, I'm like, hey, I appreciate that you did it right in at least some universe. I don't know. I have not liked a Fire Emblem game since Awakening, over 13 years ago. Which is a shame, because I consider Fire Emblem to be my second favorite video game franchise after the Tales series. And that just makes me sad. Because it's not simply because the games have gotten too easy. Like, I am not an old school Fire Emblem stan of the games are too easy and they've lost focus or whatever. I'm like, no, that's not my problem I have with them. I just feel like I fucking hate Fire Emblem Fates because, first of all, I don't like that the game was split into 3 separate packages, price gouging you to get the full experience. When it's like, okay, if the entire crux of the game was centered around this choice, it kind of sucks that you have to, you know, spend like $120 to get the full experience just normally. Like, I hate that. Secondly, I don't like the characters that much because they're just reskins of Sacred Stones, or not, Awakening characters. Like, literally, Ryoma, I think that's his name, is literally just Crom that they've just drawn over his model.
Knock, knock.
Okay, I'll bite. Who's
But-
there?
The Inquisition.
The Inquisition who?
Okay.
That's who we are, Varric.
Yeah, that's not working. You didn't get that one from Sarah, did you?
But I don't like the characters very much. I don't like how, like, this Fire Emblem before Awakening didn't really do fan service all that much, but I hate the fact that I saw more pictures of Camilla's breasts in official marketing for Three Houses, or for Fates, than I did, like, anything else. So I felt Fates was officially where the series got much more lowbrow. The other problem I have with it is that the series was pitched as, oh, who are you going to side with? The people who raised you or the people you're related to? And yeah, the story was so bad that it's like, yeah, siding with the people who raised you is always the wrong decision. It's just, oh, if you want an edgier storyline where you have to stand by and let innocent people, this is stupid and I hate it. The other problem I had with it is that despite the gimmick being those who raised you versus those you're related to, JK, you're not actually related to any of your siblings, so you can fuck all of them. Which I'm like, I absolutely hate that. I hate it so fucking much. It's gross, it's uncomfortable, and it just, no, I don't like it. Plus, I don't like Azura as a character. She just, I don't like using this term, but she walked, no, Corrin and Azura both walk the line of Mary Sue, Gary Stu a little too close for me to actually get invested in them. And then Three Houses is, in my opinion, the biggest abandonment of Fire Emblem. That being said, I don't necessarily mind it per se, because I like a lot of the things that it did. But I want to be clear. The fact that Three Houses seems to be one of the more popular Fire Emblem games since Awakening, I think is a good thing. Because it definitely has the most to like about it. I just don't like the fact that the game is bloated. So playing through it multiple times is hard. Because the game is not interesting enough in the moment-to-moment gameplay for me to find it all that fun to replay it over and over. And again, because it's so long, the other thing is I can't stand Violet as a character. Like, I get that it's part of their character. Like, they worked in the fact that they're the strong silent type into their character. So don't just... There's a reason why you have a bit of a bland protagonist. But they are 100% a Gary Stu / Mary Sue. There is no way around it. And I just find Byleth so boring. Combined with the fact that because the story is broken up into 3 different storylines, to get the full picture, you have to play through the game 4 separate times. Which, don't get me wrong, that's kind of what I wanted from Fates, but Fates, at the very least, was a much shorter game. So playing through it 3 times was not as steep of an ask. Other problem I had with Fates is that, well, maybe this isn't a problem, but all the characters were pretty well written. It kind of became difficult to keep track of all of them in a satisfying way. But, not terrible. And then there was Fire Emblem Engage, the game that makes me the most sad. Because when I first played through Fire Emblem Engage, I was like, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. It felt like Fire Emblem was finally getting back on track, and it felt so much more like what I loved about the Fire Emblem franchise. And I do still mean that. I do feel that in many respects, Engage is more what I want from a Fire Emblem game than Fates, Three Houses, or even Awakening to an extent. But the problem is that the characters in Engage are so boring. Like, so before Abby and I were playing like Castlevania together, we were actually playing through Fire Emblem. And we beat Fates, we beat Three Houses. We were trying to play like some of like the old Game Boy Advance one, but that one was just too hard for me. Well, it was too hard for me, and I didn't have the patience for it. So then we started playing Engage. We got maybe 6 chapters in, and we were both like, are you bored? Because I'm kind of bored. Because, yeah, there's just... The game is so... kind of nothing when you really get down to it. Like, the thing that... The story was pretty... So, for those who don't know, Fire Emblem Engage was something of a celebration of the franchise type game. In theory. Because it featured what was called the Emblems, which were characters from... There was one character from every past Fire Emblem game that the new characters could, like, tap into their power and, for lack of a better word, kind of morph into, like... And kind of, like, fuse with them. I'm like, oh, that's a fun idea for an anniversary. Especially since Fire Emblem's continuity between the games has always been... Yeah, they're not really they're not really canonical with each other, so let's just have fun with the idea. But because there were 12 emblems and then a pretty bloated cast, all the characters in Engage were bland and forgettable, and I couldn't tell any of them apart in any meaningful way. Plus, Alir, the main character of Engage, is completely a Mary Sue / Gary Stu. Because everyone's like, oh, the world bends around you and you're so important and blah, 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 blah. I also hate their design. The story was not interesting. It's just, it was a mess and it shouldn't have been. It does make me sad. But yeah, Abby and I just kind of gave up on that one because we were just so bored playing it. Okay, yeah, that's a little weaker, but it has better buffs, so... Like, I don't think those are better than what Sarah's got, but... I won't throw them all away until I can properly compare them. want you to have the Dex one. I actually technically want to generate threat since I'm the tank. I need to be the one pulling in the aggro. So I'll take that for myself, actually. Wait, or is this? Oh wait, that's different. Never mind, that is what I want. Sorry, was misreading things. Cole, you get the cunning. Okie dokie. I think, yeah, I think we're done here. Again, save the letters and that, but I don't really want to deal with that. So let us... We had some people ready to report in, so let's go take care of that. And possibly empty our pockets, too. Wah! Wah! I don't know why I'm doing this, sorry. The friends of Red Jenny! Oh, Jenny! Oh yeah, we can also equip everyone else while we're here. Do 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 do. I don't know why I'm doing the Pink Panther. Sorry. Alrighty. Alrighty, tidy, 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 tidy. This is two-handed, I believe. Actually, let's give Blackwall priority treatment with the... Do you remember that weapon is weaker than what Cassandra has? I don't have another shield, so... Yeah, I didn't think so. Dorian. Bitchin. Dude. Yeah, okay. Not better than what I have. It's not better than what he has either, so we can get rid of that. We can, what's it called? We can, I think I want to pull the upgrades off, that sword before we sell it. Yeah, it's got better buffs, so we're going to give you that. Cool beans. All right, let's hit up the war table and go from there. Actually, Varric, my boy.
I've got a minute if you need something.
Wait a second. Just one dragon slain? Hold the phone. I thought I slew the dragon. Shouldn't that be 2 dragons slain? Or does the one in the hinterlands not count? Because again, that should be 2 dragons I've slain. Okay. Okay. Okay, for some reason... Oh, wait. Probably because I haven't... No, I did... Never mind.
Inquisitor, is it true? Is the mark on your hand magic cast?
Corypheus claimed it.
I wanted to think it was a blessing. How credulous of me.
The anchor's nothing more special than a misfire.
At least you had the good fortune to take it from Corypheus.
That is true.
Does it hurt? The anchor, that is.
Only when I laugh.
Very good.
We've got the power, we are divine. We've got
Inquisitor.
the guts to start of our time. Actually, hold on. I think... I'm just making these available. Nope, I don't want to head out just yet. I just want to unlock them.
That Dalish elf who joined us is eager, to say the least.
The Dalish possess great knowledge. We should be honored to have him with us.
Hey, Alif. Okay, I think I announced myself good enough. Yeah, you're not wrong. Okay, I think we need to talk to Sarah now that we've done... I don't know if it'll take a bit before her quest becomes available, but... Yeah, we just need to go talk... I'm just going to go talk to her real quick, Al, that we've done her side quest. And I think now that we're done with... done with the Exalted Plains for the most part, I think we should probably go and finally do the fucking mire. I keep putting that one off.
Blood has soaked this place. The ground is hard.
Okay, now that I've technically killed a dragon, do you... Okay, I think... Yep, I think that's the cutscene I'm thinking of.
Inquisitor!
Yep, here it is.
Come, have a drink.
This is a fun one.
To killing a high dragon like warriors of legend.
Then again, maybe the dragon in the hinterlands didn't count as a high dragon.
I know, right? Put some chest on your chest. That little gurgle right before it spat fire. And that roar. What I wouldn't give to roar like that. The way the ground shook when it landed. The smell of the fires burning. Tarsaddathan Halsam. You know, Kunari hold dragons sacred. Well, as much as we hold anything sacred.
That is one giant mug.
Here, your turn.
That thing you just said, You shouted it during the fight, too. What does it mean?
Oh, Tarsadathan Halsam. Closest translation would be, I will bring myself sexual pleasure later, while thinking about this with great respect.
Huh.
You shouted that while it was breathing fire at us.
I know, right? Yes, the second cup's easier. Most of the nerves in your throat are dead after the first one.
And why are we
Atashi,
drinking this then?
the glorious ones. That's our word for them. Atashi.
Why do you think the Gunari think of dragons that way?
Well, you know how we have horns. We kind of look more dragony than most people. Maybe it's that. But a few of the Ben Hasrath have this crazy old theory. See, the Tamasrans control who we mate with. They breed us for jobs like you'd breed dogs or horses. What if they mixed in some dragon a long time ago? Maybe drinking the blood, maybe magic, I don't know. But something in that dragon we killed.
Let's see. Biting the table in
to
the
me.
background. Yeah. Yeah,
When
and
you put it
the
like that, I'm
Qunari's
worried
connection to
I killed one of your
dragons
gods or
does come up a
something.
lot more in the
Nah,
next game.
one of
since-
Tevinter's gods, maybe.
Uh,
they worship dragons, right? Kill the shit out of them all.
What's
you
it called?
like.
Because Tosh, the
Dragons are the
Qunari
embodiment
member
of
you
raw
get in the next
power.
game, she actually can breathe
But it's all
fire.
uncontrolled.
So
savage.
there's definitely
They need to be destroyed.
more
Taming the
evidence that the
wild.
Qunari actually
Order out
are
of
descended
chaos.
from dragons in some capacity.
Have another drink. Nice.
Let's
To
see what a big
dragon.
bite taken out of the table.
To finding the biggest, baddest things in the world and showing them that we're badder.
Anan.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad that Freddie Prinze Jr., who voiced Iron Bull, did kind of say something unfortunate. It wasn't intentional, but it caused some major backlash against him and the character of Iron Bull.
I hear Vashel was good pay for you, Inquisitor. Got a location for a stash. Hopefully some... Just let me know when you're ready to head out. Be sure to bring your empty pockets.
I'm ready if you are.
Always, yeah? My favorite part, this. Let's go see what friends can get us.
Oh, yeah, this is the quest that caused me to kick Sarah out of the Inquisition. In my second playthrough... And a friend of mine kicked her out after this quest, too. And she actually only first played Dragon Age this last year.
Wait, this is weird.
What?
I was expecting a village or something. The people that leave me stuff don't trek out to places like this. Give me a city and I'll give you a tour, but surprise, surprise, I don't know stupid woods or ruins. What's that?
Don't hurt me. Harmond made me do it.
Right, things have gone sour, as they do.
No,
Still a pile
no,
made from the
it has to
vines
go
and
right or
spikes.
he'll kill me for the marching. It wasn't my fault.
You were the one with the rumor out of Vashel. My friend.
You're her. You're the one he's waiting for. It's her. She's here. Red Jenny.
This is a tragic misunderstanding. Let's all sheath our swords, you walk out, and we'll conduct this like business.
Don't believe this pissbag. He started it.
There. That wasn't so hard, was it? We identified the confusion, and we worked past it. I'm Lord Pelharmond. I do hope, Inquisitor, that you continue to respond to reason. After all, your choice of...
Freaking user you are. Another note.
We're the same, you and I. Well, that is overstating it. You are nothing like me. But we both need people.
Well, say your piece.
Of course. No more rash mistakes. Honestly, previous to this very moment, I thought you'd also been tricked by these red jennies. Despite your foreign nature, as Inquisitor, you are a social peer. I attacked them on behalf of us both.
Arse biscuit.
Quite. Inquisitor, Herald, I don't want to be your enemy. I'm barely invested in being hers. If you are willing to recognize an opportunity, we could be exceptional partners.
The servants you killed, they did nothing except talk about what was going on.
You killed my contacts. My friends.
That is entirely true.
Well, that should be that then.
You're the one who empowered them, made their complaints a threat. Perhaps you should have warned them about talking to you.
Stop talking to him. Really, just stop it.
Yeah, no.
Now what was the point of that?
Mother puss bucket, friggin' bastard, shitebag, pissface.
So like the reason why
I
I absolutely hated, I didn't really like her in the first playthrough is if you keep legitimately trying to get information from this guy, she'll just interrupt and just straight up murder him like that. So, yeah. Yep.
I think you're done. At this point, you're making wine.
Ugh, that makes it worse. Friends, Inquisitor. Better than his lot any day.
Stab in the ground, yep. But yeah, for the record, I don't disagree with killing him. Because, yeah, he murdered innocent people for no real reason. But by the same token, it's like, Sarah, I am not in a position to willy-nilly just kill people. And especially at this early in the game, he potentially could have brought some real allies. Honestly, though, your only options are telling him to fuck off right away, or Sarah will kill him inevitably. So, honestly, in this particular case, I do think it's better to let Sarah kill him, but I still kind of hate Sarah for kind of twisting your arm on this one. It just kind of goes to show she doesn't give a shit about herself. Even though, again, in this case, justified.
You know what? Thanks. Felt good to stomp the smile off that pisshead's face. It doesn't go bad like that often, yeah? But when it does, they deserve it.
Don't get full of yourself. This is as much your fault as his.
Sorry, what are you on about? Because that excuse for a person was a fully vetted arsehole. You sure as piss not putting me next to him?
Yes, I am.
You had me march my people through his territory. That provoked him. If we'd stayed out, it might have stayed peaceful.
What? I don't even know what to say to that. Let the bad man do what he wants, or he'll get worse. What kind of lay down and take it shite is that? You'd rather do nothing than try to make this better?
How are you making things better? What have you done for anyone?
I make sure these assholes pay.
While filling your pockets.
Well, maybe, but...
No, but you're not actually all that better.
You go suck friggin' eggs. I take back. No, I don't change the world, but that's hard, right? Even for heralds, or you're lying.
I need all the help I can get, but consider this a warning.
Well, understood. Hop to and all that. If you need me, I'll be waiting for some barking ass to give me orders. So hard to get. Stupid. Everyone.
Yeah, no, I can't stand Sarah because everything is I'm right, you're wrong, and there's no middle ground, there's no talking. And hell, as something that someone pointed out in a previous stream,
Shadows forgotten from
if you are playing an elf and try to romance her, you basically have to deny your faith in order to appease her, in order to accommodate you two being together, so... I don't think I've ever seen you before.
Inquisitor, you have done much, but have you the stomach for...
The what?
It begins... Logain MacTier is a hero to some and a monster to others. He was also Terran of which Ferelden settlement?
I will guess.
Incorrect, and unfortunately. We will continue when I have...
Okay, I have no idea what that was. Like, honestly, it genuinely kind of takes me metagaming to not kick Sarah out of the Inquisition right then, right there.
At your service.
That's all for now.
But it's like, I don't want to miss out on the quests that she brings. Plus, if you kick her out, you can't do the really fun... I mean, you're not playing poker, you're playing Wicked Grace, but it's kind of like poker. It's kind of like this universe's version of poker. But there's a really, really funny scene later in the game where you and all of your companions are playing Wicked Grace together. It's not something you can do if Sarah is kicked out because the game doesn't register as having everyone present. And that does make me sad because I don't like Sarah very much. And it's also the same reason I put up with Vivienne, even though I would love to just tell her, no, I don't want you in the Inquisition, but actually, now that I think about it, Vivienne's the only character who doesn't take part in that scene. But I don't want to miss out on the experience of not having her in the Inquisition. As much as I can't stand her. Freaking... No, I don't need some... No, I don't need any weed. I think that would just make me more ill, and I don't need that. Plus, taking weed would get me fired, like, immediately. So, definitely don't want any weed. Again, it's kind of funny. I'm like, oh, let's go to the mire. But I'm like, oh, let's just quickly do these seal things or whatever. It's like, the universe is you know, maybe this is another reason why I should just focus on this game and not do another game on the side. Because otherwise, we're going to be here for free. Otherwise, it's going to take us forever to get through this game. Not that I mind, because I absolutely love this game. But you get what I'm saying. I also love it when the visuals glitch out, so the ethereal axe doesn't spawn in, so it just kind of looks like I'm whacking people with, you know, a stick or a digging spade or something. Oh, I guess it wasn't up. Oh, I didn't need to go up here. It's in the connecting cave down below. Okay. I think I failed to defy gravity. Hi. Wait. Wait a second. Are those Grey Wardens? I don't know. No, I don't think so. They've got blue, but I don't think they're Grey Wardens. Weird, because like the ethereal axe, popped out when I was on the back of my deer, but it's still not appearing in combat, sort of. Jeez, what is that thing? Is that like a Hurlock Alpha? I think it's a Hurlock Alpha.
Someone nearly died from the Blight. It's not something you forget. Only way out was for him to become a Grey Warden, which means he's stuck fighting Darkspawn the rest of his life.
Ha! You're talking about Carver. Up we go. Guess this is the quickest way to get to those is right here. Again, it's so strange not being the mage, because I almost always play a mage in this game. And if I'm not playing the mage, I'm usually a rogue. Like, this really is an unusual playthrough for me being a warrior. Yeah, I still haven't... No, I do think I am going to be a rogue in Veilguard. Just because the characters I'm considering to romance are Nev, Balara, and Davrin. And that's 2 mages and a warrior, so... I think just for that reason, I think I might want to be a rogue. Since I've already romanced Harding, so I am going to... Oh, no, I'm still trying to not spoil Veilguard too much, so I'm not going to finish that thought. Get off. Solus, get off. There we go. Come here, boy. think after I'm done with this, I might need to call it quits, because I'm getting pretty damn hungry. Abby was supposed to be home a while ago, so I was holding off on lunch, but it's way past when I normally eat lunch, and I'm getting hungry. And I want to make sure that I eat early enough that I'm still hungry for dinner, because we got crock pot stew. It's been cooking since this morning. Get off the heart.
We lived.
Okay, that one will take me to the DLC area, which I'm putting off. Okay, I don't think we can get through that door just yet, but let's take a look-see. Then yeah, then we'll probably head back to Skyhold, talk to redeploy the war table because Cullen's back, and I think that's probably we're gonna have to call it for a day. And god damn it, next stream, so tomorrow morning we'll get to the mire. I hope. I don't remember definitively what needs to happen for me to actually gain access to this part of the map. Yeah, actually, let me also talk to Solus real quick.
I don't know what you think you're doing.
I'm being clucked at by a hen, evidently.
Don't play the fool with me, young man.
If I wanted to play the fool, I could be rather more convincing, I assure you.
Your glib tongue does you no credit.
You'd be surprised at the credit my tongue gets me, Your Reverence.
Oh.
What's going on here?
It seems the revered mother is concerned about my undue influence.
It is just concern.
You might need to spell it out.
This man is of Tevinter. His presence at your side. The rumors alone.
The concerns of the Chantry are no concern of the Inquisition, Mother Giselle.
I know being
I'm
a
aware
rude
of
to
that.
her, but...
You risk, however, not only the...
And if I ask from where these rumors are...
See, I meant no disrespect, Inquisitor. If you feel he is without ulterior motive, then
Well, that's something.
She didn't get to you, did she?
No, it takes more to get to me than thinly veiled accusations.
You don't think she'll do anything?
Do what? Yours is the good opinion I should ask. Do the rumors bother you?
I wish they wouldn't disparage you. They don't know you.
They know you even less than they know me.
Perhaps it's odd to say, but I think I have precious few friends. I didn't think... Don't speak. I detest confessions. And I'd like to get this... Allow me to say I'll stand beside you. Against Corypheus,
Dorian
my
is,
countrymen,
I think,
or
after
spurious
Solus. And then again, I like Solus
So
as a
long as
whole.
you'll have me.
I think Dorian is the best character in this game. I love Dorian so much.
you need?
I should go.
As you will.
Again, I really... if it wasn't for the fact that I wanted to do events in this game and the next game, I should have played a male Inquisitor and definitely should have romanced Dorian.
We'll talk later.
He's such a great character and just... ooh, I love him so much. Yeah. Like I said, I don't necessarily regret my decision to go this route, but part of me does wish I did not. I did go a different route, you know?
Did you see the message I sent? Yes, thank you.
Inquisitor.
Yep. Nope, we're backing out. Alright. That is where we are going to call it. We will be doing more of this tomorrow morning, and we'll be doing this Sunday morning as well, since the edgelord stuff has to be done when Abby is available. So, yeah. I'm not sure when, but I'll see you guys then. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.